Hey guys, this is ARCgaming with the arcade game The Walking Dead, episode 1. There's 5 episodes for the Walking Dead series on the arcade, and the best thing about this is it's free to play. The first episode is anyway, um, and the rest of them are 200 Microsoft points each. So I'm just basically going to talk about like the very basics, what I like about it, what I don't like, um, and that's pretty much it. I'm gonna not talk so much in this video just because I want you to experience like the choices that you can make and stuff while you're driving in the cruiser in the first scene. So first thing you see when you start it up, you got your play, you got downloadable content, achievements, help, and options, and obviously to exit the game, but we're not going to exit the game because we're going to play it. So like I said, this game is free to play. It's 200 Microsoft points for the rest of them for episode 2, 3, 4, and 5. And what you can see here is that there's standard and minimal. Standard just shows you like what you need to do. It's just like more beginner. And what you can see here is there's 5 episodes. And I don't think they're making any more due to the fact that they did make a new Xbox 360 game, and I believe it's on the other consoles as well. But anyway. Where it stars Daryl and Merle, which is awesome. So anyway, right off the bat, you start out being driven by a police officer. You obviously have broken the law somehow, and you're not quite sure what you've done to get yourself in that situation. The only thing you know is your name is Lee, and you got arrested for something. The thing about this game is it's very, like I will say later on in the video, it's very cinematic. You don't play as the character, you're viewing the character, but you also make decisions as the character. Like the camera angles change constantly, like first person, third person, cinematic. It's like someone's following you with a camera. It's like you're watching a TV show, like an animated Walking Dead show, which is pretty sweet in general, but like I said, there's a lot of commentary in this. There's not a lot of moving around, and you adjust like what you say, and like which kind of reminds me of the video game Mass Effect, where everything you say can alter the outcome of the game. So anyway, I'm gonna stop talking just so you can listen to the conversation these two have in this vehicle, and then we'll continue at the next scene.
You know, I've driven a bunch of fellas down to this prison. Lord knows how many. Usually it's about now I get the, I didn't do it.
Not for me.
'Cause guys in your position already said it enough.
We got what looks like a 1091E near Page 3X285. All cars have to keep on the lookout for 91B in the area.
I followed your case a little bit, you being a Macon boy and all.
You've got an opinion then?
Wouldn't say that. I go in for that innocent till proven guilty thing, even considering who they say you killed.
Be advised, medical personnel en route to Hartsfield, various 10 to 20.
Any of that seem important to you?
All of it, but that box never shuts up. Sit in this seat and pay too much attention and you'll drive yourself crazy. I got a nephew up at UGA. You teach there long?
Going on my 6th year.
You meet your wife in Athens? You wanna know how I see it?
Not really.
Too bad. It's my car. You might have the right to remain silent, but it don't mean I gotta be. Regardless, could be you just married the wrong woman.
Riot in progress. All officers are available for incoming 217. Rolling calls and dispatches to all locations.
I'm driving this man once. He was the worst one. He wouldn't stop going on about how he didn't do it. He was an older fella, big soft eyes behind a pair of smart folk glasses. And he just wailing back there. Says it wasn't him. Crying and snotting all over right where you're
All
sitting.
officers are available for incoming 212.
Then before long, he starts kicking the back of the seat like a fussy baby on an airplane. And I tell him he's got to stop. That's government property, and I'll be forced to zap him otherwise. So he stops, and having exhausted all his options, he starts crying out for his mama. Mama, it's all a big mistake. It wasn't me.
Maybe he was innocent.
Innocent? They caught the fucker red-handed, stabbing his wife, cutting her up as the boys came through the door. He sits in my car screaming bloody murder that it wasn't him.
So at this point now you're driving along the road, and this is when you make your first real decision in the video game. So essentially you're driving along and this person walks out in the middle of the road, and I don't know what I was doing. I guess I wasn't really paying attention because I wasn't really doing a live commentary at the time. This is just a commentary over top. And I guess if you said something like, yo, watch out, maybe he would have dodged it. I don't know how, I don't know, I can't think of the word right now, but how much of an impact it would make on your, like, the game. So anyway, in the next scene, you wake up and you see kind of like these like people walking around, and you're not quite sure what it is, but you pretty much make the assumption as a gamer, oh, they're zombies because you know you're playing The Walking Dead. So when you wake up, you know, you close your eyes and you wake up, and now it's like a little bit later, and you look around and you see that the police officer was thrown from the vehicle. Well, that's the first assumption you make, but then you find out that that he was pulled from the car. This scene kind of reminds me of if you've ever watched the Walking Dead TV show or read the Walking Dead books, like the comics. This kind of reminds me of when Rick wakes up from his coma and he doesn't know what really goes on, but all he can see around him is like chaos and like what something has happened, and you know, every like the town he used to live in is now uh, like a ghost town. So my first complaint and the first thing I noticed about this game is that you use the right stick to look around, which is kind of strange because you usually use the left stick to look around and the right stick to move. Well, that's just the way I play anyway. And the fact that this game has got so many interactions, using like the A, X, Y, and B, and then you're using the right stick to move around, it just doesn't make sense because when you're looking around, you can't press the button at the same time, so you have to look and then press the button. So the button layout I'm not a big fan of, but maybe they did that on purpose to kind of give you that more hopeless feeling. Because it takes a little bit longer for your character to react to things, and maybe that's what they were going for. Also, the other thing that's a little bit of a pet peeve to me is the camera angles on this game. So it's not in first person, it's a cinematic camera. So essentially it's following the character, and it feels like someone's following you with a camera, like you're actually watching your character do stuff, you're not actually doing it. Which is kind of interesting. A game I would relate that to is Tomb Raider, the new one that just came out. It's got a cinematic camera as well, so you're following your character. You're not actually playing as the character, which, like I said, makes sense because they're called episodes, right? And it's just a series of episodes of you following your character and making his decisions for him and affecting how if your character survives or not. So you slowly move over to the police officer who was dragged from the vehicle, as you can tell from the blood trails, and you're going to get the keys to unlock your handcuffs. So essentially, it kind of tries to add that suspense, but if you've already watched The Walking Dead or like anything like that, you kind of know what's going on. So like I said, they kind of give you that hopeless feeling you're going to see in a minute. when you have to look at the thing you want to do and then um, click the button, so it kind of gives that delayed feeling. So at this scene, you have to back up, and then you have to grab an object. So what you'd have to do is you'd have to look at the object, then press the A button, and then look back at the thing you were doing. Um, so the game is suspenseful, but it didn't really, I don't know, like it didn't really like it didn't get my heart racing, which was kind of like what I was hoping for when I was gonna play this game. But most video games don't do that anymore. Ever since I've played Dead Space, that game kind of messed up my perception of fear in video games. Not Dead Space 3, by the way, because that one is just I don't even know what to think about that. But I'm not talking about Dead Space. I'm talking about The Walking Dead. Um, so this game also gives you achievements, which is awesome because it's free. I forgot to mention that this game is free to download on Xbox Live Arcade. It's the first one out of 5. Um, but the first one's free, but the next 4 are 200 Microsoft points each. And honestly, um, the only reason why I would do that is just to support the development team because it's a good game. I mean, it seems kind of fun, but I don't know if I could play 4 games of this because it's really drawn out. It's a lot of plot, which there's nothing wrong with. Plot's good, but if there's more interaction in between the plot, that that you enjoy playing it. But if you're just watching your character, then what's the difference between just if you're watching, like, you want to play a video game. That's the whole point of a video game, is you want to play. Um, but this game is just like, it's more cinematic. You're watching your character, you're watching as your character develops, and you just essentially make the decisions for him. Um, those are kind of my concerns with it. I haven't played the other ones, so maybe there's some more like interactions and stuff. There's a lot of button mashing in this too, um, which I'll probably show in the next episode, but I'm not going to show like a full clip. I'm going to show snippets of the Walking Dead uh, series. But also, this game is really long. Was quite surprised. I was playing it thinking that I'd get an entire episode in a half an hour or so, but I've been playing this for like an hour and it's still going. So anyway, and that's only in the first episode. So anyway, that's all I really wanted to say. So ARCgaming, just comment, rate, and subscribe, and hopefully I can get a few more of these videos out in the next week. All right.